What's going on, YouTube family? Today we're going to be talking about something super exciting, car insurance. Now, it's no secret that car insurance has gotten absolutely ridiculous the last few years, and now it's having a major effect in the automotive industry. Now, the reason why I'm making this video today is because I talked to a few dealers across the United States, and they all kept telling me their number one hang-up for selling any cars is insurance. Either the customer can't afford it or they can't get it. And it's getting to a point so bad where some companies are actually starting to think of doing their own reassurance or insurance programs. So I wanted to share some of the information with you, give you guys an update of currently what's going on, and also let you know why some of the trends leading forward could hopefully reduce the cost of car insurance. Now, when I started talking to some of these dealers, they said that 90% of the customers were thrown off by the quotes and the rates they got. You know, some people thought their insurance would be maybe $100, $200 a month for full coverage and ended up being anywhere from $400 to $700 a month. Some insurance companies wanted really, really high deposits. Other ones just simply wouldn't write the policy at all. Now, if you're from California, this is going to be very familiar. Now, California has a very unique law where they only allow you to increase the insurance costs very small. But because of this, a lot of insurance carriers are basically wiping their hands with California and walking away. State Farm, Allstate, Progressive, pretty much any major insurance company is leaving California because it's too much risk. They can't increase the rates. And it's not only that, but also when it comes to home insurance, like with all the fires, thefts, floods, and crazy vandalism, like nobody wants to be in California. So now they're all pulling back out. And so this is having a major ripple effect when it comes to insurance companies writing policies, because insurance companies always, just like banks, try to outrun their negative debt or their bad loans or their bad policies. And so they're always adjusting their rates to offset their risk. So if they can't raise rates in California, they'll pass that on to somebody like me in Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and eventually, like right now, what I'm paying for insurance is absolutely ridiculous. Now, when I bought my 2022 R8 back when it was brand new, I was paying, I believe, $256 a month for full coverage insurance to insure a $200,000 car. But fast forward a year later, it jumped to $600. When I asked them, they gave me no explanation. They just said that's just the way the market is. COVID's over, prices or everything's going back up, more cars on the road. Fast forward a year after that, and my insurance jumped all the way up to $1,057. So I didn't want to pay that $1,000. So I ended up selling my car and I started building my G6x6. Now, I wasn't the only person that actually sold their car, got rid of their cars because they couldn't afford insurance. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. Even my smart car, I bought that for $1,500. My insurance value is $5,000, but they still want to charge me $200 a month for liability. No accidents, no DUIs, no tickets, no nothing. But they still do that. And every time I ask them why, it's because, the state minimum requirements and it's going up and this and this and this. Now, the funny thing was when I talked to my insurance broker friends and agents and I asked them, are accidents up? And they said statistically, accidents and thefts are down now. After the whole Kia incident and everything else, it dropped quite a bit. A lot of new cars have a lot of technology, so they're harder to steal, and there's less accidents and there's less things going wrong. I'm like, okay, so if that statistically is going lower, car values are going down because traditionally the reason why car insurance got crazy is because car values went up. And when you bought, let's say, your $10,000 Toyota Corolla, now if the insurance company totaled it out, now it's worth 17. So they originally insured it for the cost of 10, but now they're paying out 17. They have to offset that cost. But it's been 2-3 years. The market's going down. Vehicle prices are going down and vehicle values are dropping even faster. So we should get things cheaper, right? And they said no. One of the main reasons why insurance is staying up is because of EVs. And I kind of laughed, and I hate to bash on EVs, but I was like, okay, well, give me your opinion, I'll tell you mine. And so they proceeded to tell me that the reason why is they give them a higher risk emblem because they weigh more than a traditional car. So if you have a Honda Civic and a Tesla Model 3, and they both run into, let's say, a parking garage, the Model 3 will do twice the damage as a Honda Civic. The reason why is because the Tesla weighs so much more because of the batteries. The more weight you have, the more rolling mass, the more damage you inflict when you hit some sort of item, whether that's a person, a car, or somebody's personal property. Now, I'm like, well, that's fine, and I understand that. I go, but why is my insurance going up? Because I don't drive any EVs. And he told me it's because insurance companies are covering that cost now that there's more and more EVs getting on the road. they're worried about basically somebody coming and hitting my car and causing more damage. And so now I have to pay more out on insurance costs. So now the EVs are affecting me that way. And another reason why is because EVs are basically being totaled out somewhere around 70 to 80%. Now, I have to get more numbers on that, so don't quote me on it. But I do believe this because if you go to Copart, there's literally not hundreds, thousands of EVs damaged with barely any accident damage on them. Now, I just bought a Tesla Model 3. I'll show you guys here in the video coming up soon that literally has very minor bumper damage, and it still runs and drives, has 10,000 miles. But on the bottom quarter panel, there's a small dent in the floorboard. And so just because I got close to the battery, they totaled it out. Now, this is a bad thing because every EV that basically gets a small fender bender is going to be totaled out. And so if they're constantly paying out 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000 for these EVs, all those costs are just skyrocketing. It's getting too expensive. I remember doing a video about the Rivian. If you don't know the Rivian truck, if you put a dent literally this big in the quarter panel, its insurance requirement is to replace the quarter panel. Now the quarter panel is basically from the back of the second door all the way to the tailgate. It's one piece. So when they replace it, it could be anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 to do this. And that's why you see so many Rivians with very small dents or some small body damage or frame damage basically totaled out right from the get-go. Now you can still buy and pull the dent out and drive it around, but these are some of the issues that are happening when it comes to car insurance. So now, unfortunately, even if you don't drive an EV, you're going to have to pay higher rates because of these incidences. And another reason why insurance is going up and it's not going down is because of all the lawsuits. Now, all these ambulance chasers are basically going out of their way to almost make a mill where they can literally, you get into an accident, you give them their information, they keep sending letters, they send you to some bogus doctors for therapy or whatever else, and then you get a big check at the end. Now, it's free money for a lot of people, so to them it's no big deal, but they don't realize is the more people that go through these things, and these attorneys are getting good, they literally have hundreds of people that just run through this every single week, sending the same letter, it's a copy-paste thing, and they're charging the insurance company hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so all this does is keep racking up your rates. Now, this also sucks because if you really do get hurt in an accident and you do need help and you need other things, a lot of these cars have limited coverage. It's too expensive to get additional coverage. So now if you get, let's say, hit when you're crossing the street, you break both legs, you need to be in a wheelchair, you're out of work for 6 months, and their insurance limit is $25,000, you're pretty much SOL. So all these things are affecting the cost of insurance. Now, I do have to say that it's not all bad. There are some good things. First one is that you could actually call to do a policy rewrite every 3 to 6 months. I recently just did this and they cut almost $2,500 off my 6-month policy right before I made this video. I got so sick of it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to cancel my policy. I've been with you guys for 7 years. I'm done. And sure enough, somebody called me up. We don't want to lose you. We're going to do a policy rewrite. Congratulations. We cut $2,500 off your 6-month premium. So don't be afraid to call these people and constantly ask, do a policy rewrite. And if the policy rewrite is more expensive, just don't do it. But a lot of things are changing. Vehicle values, the state of the market, risks, maybe your address is a little bit different. All these little things can hopefully lower your insurance. And don't be afraid to call them and see what kind of deals you get. Another good thing is that Tesla came out with their own insurance. This was a way for them to continue to push EV sales without people walking away. Because usually when people get those first inclinations of how much it's going to cost to insure a brand new EV, it's pretty scary. It's along the same prices of an exotic car. So now Tesla has their own insurance that hopefully will lower those costs and bring more people into the door to either buy or keep their cars. So it'll help them with sales, but also keep their resale value up because unfortunately, a lot of people are dumping EVs because of either the parts, the repair, the insurance, or just the fact that they just don't like them anymore. So all these things are kind of culminating into something that Tesla's doing, which is a good thing. I think more companies should do this. I also talked to a few dealers in the Midwest, and the reinsurance programs, basically they have to put $5 million into a policy, and then they can start self-insuring themselves. And then every time they have an accident, they have a third-party company write the claim, pay it out, blah, blah, blah. And so they're thinking of doing this because with the amount of sales they can make from having their own insurance company to push these cars out, they'll actually make more money and be able to offer more affordable insurance to their customers, which I think is fairly interesting. So as these things start to unfold, it should basically sway the insurance companies to hopefully giving you guys cheaper rates. So hopefully it won't be bad too much longer. You just got to stay in there. Like I said, make sure you call Shop Your Insurance. Also check with insurance brokers. When you go into a place, you can only check with one person for one time for all your cars, one policy. For the broker, they can shotgun you to maybe 10 to 15 insurance companies to see if they can get you a better quote. Also, there are things called umbrella policies. You can check these out, call your insurance broker. Sometimes you can get your car insurance, life insurance, your renter's insurance, all this stuff, all under one umbrella, one fixed cost, one price. Definitely save you some money, so definitely look into that. But I would love to know, what are you currently paying for your car? Is it gone up? Is it gone down? What kind of car you drive? What states you're in? Please put all that stuff in the comment section below. I love to share feedback, and it also lets people kind of know where they're working with. And if you get a better rate, maybe they can share their insurance provider with you, so this way we can all save money together. But I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next video.